the general categories of fine artworks. So number one, so in the general categories of fine artworks is perceived by our eyes, which may classified in two. Just like what I said, no, from the first meeting that we have visual arts, but visual arts not only one, we have many forms of general categories of fine artwork. So under of the visual is the graphic and the plastic. We already know that the graphic art is a flat dimensional. It includes painting, drawing, photography, and other graphic arts. No, so these are called in the printing industry. While on the plastic art is three-dimensional because it forms of the groupings, architectural designs, constructions of buildings, other structures and such that we have, as for example indicated in the PowerPoint presentation. And next we have number two, we have performing arts. So in the performing arts, these are include no on the speaking, gestures of movement, because we know that in making of music, you must be speak no something in order for you, di ba? To convey words, no, to tell words, and you have gestures because you are dancing. So therefore, there is a artistically movements of the gestures of your body movements, di ba? Your physical body parts. And when you are playing and in the theater, no, in the dance one, they involve a movement of making of an art of an action, an art of a dramatic one, and etc. So when we say performing, it involves na movement, speaking, and gestures. And then say literary arts, it includes the following, no? The short stories, novels, poetry, and dramas. So we know that yung ating dramas involve the actor and actresses. These are the dramatist one that we called, no? Or the bida, yung mga antagonists and protagonists in the movies or in the story of. And when you say in the poetry, it is in the poem, no? Yung mga tula, no, or my spoken poetry that we have daw that we converted, no, yung mga balagtasan before, and now yung poetry natin, it is a using of a figurative languages that make no beautiful yung mga message that we convey, that make two, no, by a poet, no. And next is novels. Now we know that a novel is a made of fictional and with originality. It consists of many chapters of a story of, no, and make, no, it make also a stories of something that could be happen in real, no, scenario or in real life. No, and short stories. By the way, the one who create novels is novelist. No, in poetry we have poet. No, and the dramas we have dramatist. No, and in the short stories, those are the authors that calls, no, are who write and who made, no, a biography and short story. No, but a short story is an absence of some plot of the stories, no, or ng kwento na tinatawag natin. So next is the popular arts. So all of this that we have, performing, literary arts, will be the medium is popular arts, because all of what we act, no, all of what we use in the dance or in the theater or in the play is adapted, no, in through the film, newspaper, magazine, radio, and television, because they are now one of the great means, no, or one of the great uh, idea, no, how would you right now to disseminate and to inform others, no, that these are a form of arts or is still existing to mga form of arts na to that we have, no, in the categories of an artwork. And we have the gustatory art of the cuisine, no, that we have. So it involves of skills in food preparation. So like in the HM industry, you have to know first this kind of table setup, the way of how you present the food in the manner of to make it delicious and presentable for others, and the way how is it not nutritious, no, and budgetly provide yung mga dietitians that we have na skills of preparation for you to be able to understand better yung mga number of the weighted one of the food. Hindi pwede yung servings are great, hindi pwede yung mga servings are too small or too little. So you have to involve in the cuisine, no, or in the culinary arts one. So if you want to involve on that one, so medyo marami talagang way of, di ba? Kasi in skill in food preparation like in baking, you have to make yourself no prepared before to make, no, ang pagkain na gagawin mo. Kasi sabi nila, it should put your heart in making of a food, no, to make it tasteful and deliciously should put, no, a work of with heart, no, and dedication. So in many things, no. And we have decorative arts. In decorative arts, it is a renovating, giving a new meaning or giving a new design because you are now beautifying the houses, the offices, and the other structures that you wanted not to renovate. Then, if you are a minimalist, now you will be concentrating not to you will be put no a minimal one, a type of arts that you will decorate on your house or in the offices and the cars that you want to display to, di ba? So it differs in how would you describe yung mga arts that you have when it comes to decorative arts. Or if you want, you can use many borloloys and etc. Or yung mga garments and yung mga jewelries and etc. in your shop, no? And even in the application to the following that we give an example to. Next, in the artists of the world of art, we have varied names, no? So, kung alam nyo ay painting, so you must called on painter, no? You must not know or must called as a painting. Hindi ka naman pinaint o pinainting. Ikaw ay isang painter, the one who made or create a paint, no? Or create now a painting. So, you are a painter. I will be not be longer discuss furthermore. This is an self-explanatory that we have, no? So next, in sculptor, as like what we have in painter, we are called as a sculptor if you are carving, if you are making up sculpture. So you are not a sculpture. Hindi ko yung mga not movable or motionless, no, thing or object. Okay, so you are a sculptor, or if you are making into or intended to making up an art of sculpture, you are sculptor. Okay, sculptor, no, na tinatawag sa Tagalog. So sa susunod naman, we have the board examination, we have, di ba sa Philippine Regulatory Commission, sabi lagi, no? The result is out for the licensure for examination for architecture. Now, you take or you took the examination for architecture because your work as an architecture, no, is to plan and design, construct, no, a building. But you are an architect as a person itself. Okay, that you have the skills in making a plans and designs and construct as like sculpture, as like a sculptor and painter. Okay, next we have the number 2, the artist in music and dance. So we have in the artist in the music and dance, which is the musician. So people who are inclined, no, in making of use of instrument, they are instrumentalists. What kind of instrumental it is? So we have the flutist, harper, trumper, violinist, pianist, organist, etc. So marami, no? So if you are a musician, if you are into or inclined to instrumental, you are called, no, as a musicians. Like yung mga kasabi natin, it is a composition of Ryan Cayabyab. It's a composition of Benny Saturno. It's a composition of Ogie Alcacid. Kasi sila yung mga musician that make, and through that, no, nalagyan nila ng salo ng musika yung kanta na kinakanta ng isang singer. Because sa susunod naman nating discussion, itong singer, di ba? The singer is a songster, a prima donna. He may could be also a vocalist, na a soloist. So alam natin si Nina, si Juris, now sila na yung mga soloist. And before they are vocalists that we have, di ba? Oh, and we have the diva. So we have the Regine Velasquez. No, they are singer, but in the music, no, they have a own distinct, no, name or varied names in their field of fun forms of fun work of art that they making through, no, to perform their talents. And next, choreographer. And a choreographer is a with the dancer. So without dancer or without dancing, no, choreographer cannot be formed. Who will be teach the dancing? The choreographer, diba? No? And who will be portrayed on that one is the dancer, the choreographer that who made, no, artistically movements and his body, and the one who teaches the choreography of a dance. So that will be the two, no, combination, no, na meron tayo. So, but do not forget that the meaning itself of these two, no, that the choreographer is the one who composed, while the dancer itself is the one who moved artistically, but at the same time, that the body artistically moves is the choreographer itself. Okay? Next, we have in the literary arts. So, pag sinabing literary arts, it involves words that putting together, no, and making up such of letters, no. Pag sinabing literatures, no, it makes, no, literary meaning, no, of the such a work of the words, no. But Here we have poet. No, again, a poet is a the one who create no a poetry or a poem that the words are put together with aesthetically. So these are figurative languages, simile, metaphor, metaphor, euphemism, personification, euphemism, no, that we have, no, and onomatopoeia, irony. And next we have novelist, the one who create the fiction and originality, also known as a writer of stories, diba? As I like what I mentioned from the earlier one. And the author is the writer. No? Next is the playwright. So we know that the playwrights, yung mga nag-a-adapt sa direksyon ni, sa patnubay ni, sa gawa ni, di ba? Sila yung mga gumawa in behind of this successful movie or successful drama or any kind of that being played in the television or motion pictures production. Maybe in the theater, maybe in the recorded, maybe in the drama, or maybe in the daily uh, uh, tawag dito, palabas in our television or in the pre-television. And the dramatist is the one who composed no, the prose or poetry that been act no, in the play of drama of the actress and actresses no, or the character itself. Next. All right, we have now another topic. We have the principles of art. So the principles of art consists of the following. So first one, we have the harmony. And we must understand better that the principles of art is something to do in putting of an art no, to make it elegant, to make it very beautiful to our eyes, to make it very coherent, and to make it very interesting for us. So these principles or theory of art must be known to understand better yung ating way of looking and appreciating of an art. So sabi nyo nga, pag kayo gumagawa ng art, I want now my art to become a beautiful in the making sense of dapat balance, dapat harmony, hindi siya yung laging sabog, hindi dapat siya abstract. It should have the way of organization. It should have the way of skills of making the presentation to make it beautiful to our eyes. So that is why principles are of art is created. So number one, we have harmony. So if you want to achieve no that the harmony is you want to see that the elements of a thing inside of the arts that you are making of should be put together to come up with a coherent as a whole. So like for example of this one. So if you want to make it beautiful to our eyes and catching and you want to impress the audience, you have to make an harmony that you will put together in a coherent as a whole, not only in the making of picture of puro mga light, puro mga dark, puro mga bright, or puro mga faded or dull colors lang. So it should have coherent and you must give no the the life na may buhay ang isang kwento ng ginagawa mo o yung pinapakita mo sa isang art form. So as I gave an example is this one. So next is the balance. The balance is an stability to produce by even distribution of weight on each side of the thing. So alam naman natin ang balance. You are balancing, you are stable, no? Each sides are proportionally distributed no in each sides, no? And to give you an example of that is this. But to make you know inform you more, we have the three types of the balance. We have the symmetrical, asymmetrical, no, at saka yung radial balance. So each sides are proportionally let's say proportionally put no the object or the object inside of this painting no or picture. So you will see there is a balance of the stability of the portion. And at some point you can see on the top one no, that we have is a little bit of the objects here inside, and on the other side, on the opposite, it has a lot of many of the objects that being making up. That is as asymmetrical one. They are not proportionally but equally distributed in making of the sense of both are having no. But in the radial one, we have a circle that for shading of is different shapes that will be created into and have proportionally no, have the art forms inside of it. No? So I'll be stop sharing for this one. I'll be now going to another presentation that I'll be showing to you that will explain furthermore yung sinasabi kong balance no at yung ating iba pang makikita. So to give you more the idea, ito na po. So right now, have you seen it, the presentation? Hello?
Yes po, sir.
Ayan. So the
Yes po,
principles of
sir.
design is consists of the balance. What are the balance is? So it's like what I mentioned, equally distribution of the weight of each side. And then we have three types. And the three types that the design we have is symmetric. So yung symmetric natin are equally distributed in the elements of the designs and they have similar to each other side or the opposite side. So ito yon, they are similar to each opposite side. So in the next one, asymmetrical, there is a balance, but in the sides of composition, there are different looks of making or portraying on of each weight of the sides. So they are having two objects, but in proportion of portraying of, but they have the same idea pa rin of putting one object and this is a small, this is a big one. No? Like what I'm showing to you, yung kanina, they have many objects that being pictured on that side, sa right. Sa left naman, many but little, but in the composition of the object, mas marami siya in the distribution, no? At making it to balance. And next is radial balance. And yung sun na pinakita ko sa inyo is a radial balance to make it no, to achieve yung elements that will be arranged no, and exhibit similarities spread around the central point. So it's like what I see no, nung ating picture doon sa nakita ninyo, yun yung araw na dinidescribe ko na I'm talking to right now. So now, I'll be stop sharing. I'm going to the first presentation that I'm showing on you. Sige, balikan natin to. So we have now the rhythm. So right now, can you see the presentation? Yan.
Yes,
Kita
sir.
niyo?
Yes po.
Okay. In the rhythm, there is a description here that repetitive pattern of succession of similar or identical items. So like what we have no, in the example, there is a repetitive pattern of description of the picture. So you can see an identical thing of the picture. So in the corridor or in the balcony, pwede nyo makita to kung meron kayong mga migay sa mga mayaman o sa mga public places like sa National Museum or yung mga Catholic school or even yung mga churches natin, meron mga ganito, di ba, na dahil na sa Manila Cathedral, makikita nyo rin to, may ganito din and other places, no? So you will see there is an identical one in portraying of a picture of it. So like yung mga stairs na nakikita natin, pwede yan, identical yun, there is a repetition, okay? There is a rhythm, no? So parang words lang din pala, no? May rhyme, may rhythm. So dapat magkakatunog sa dulo, no? Magkakapare-pareho ng pagbinigas mo kasing tunog, no? Ganon. Next, you have the proportion. There is a comparative relations of the different parts in relation to the whole that we have. So as like what example that we have here. In the picture, we have the comparison or comparative no, relationship of among of the pictures inside of the painting. That it is in relation to the difference, no, in the relation to the whole one that we can see in the entire subject matter or the subject sceneries that being chosen to by this artist. So next is the emphasis. And emphasis is giving proper importance to one or more parts in the painting itself. So ito yung pwede natin makitang emphasis that the girl with pearl earring that he emphasizing not the pearl earring that he wearing too. So to stop the discussion dito sa PowerPoint presentation, balikan natin yung kaninang pinakikita ko, yung window na presentation na naka-word. So ito yon, pwede natin makita. Sa emphasis, ayan. Right now, can you see the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Apo.
Okay, sorry, bigla kasing nawala, kaya ano lang ako na confused lang. So we have no the emphasis. You can project your emphasizing the picture of an art by using a small one or in the rest of the surroundings that he has is pwede mo siyang ito gawing big or ito gawin mong small. Okay, you can do it because you want to achieve in contrasting no and presenting of area of a such color or any subject wherein you will touch no the attention of your audience no. So syempre if you want to see or to look on this picture, syempre ang attention mo ano na naiiba, you're emphasizing the small dotted black one, di ba na? And then we have the pattern that I'm talking to lately. That the pattern is a repetition objects. Sabi ko nga kanina, yung stairs, you can be an example of that because there is a repetition of the shapes, the symbol, or the space or the picture of itself, no? That making two yan. So, pwede yung mga tiles ninyo or any illusion na pwede natin makita. Actually, yung illusion, pwede nga rin a very bright idea or kind of artwork that you can use, no? And next one is yung proportion natin kanina that I'm talking to is with the making of unity and creating when all parts are to make it relate to each other. So, like yung kaninang pinakita ko sa picture of yung third Gustav na meron tayo, is making a presentation in relation and relate with others in creating a proportion lang. So, repetition, ito yung kanina that I'm mentioning to sa rhythm, no, ayan, yung dalawa. And we have also other types of, we have variety of several elements that you want to add and to create to, or in order to catch the attention of the audience. And unity that you want to as a coherent no, or as a harmony, ito yung pwede natin makita kanina that among of the parts of the work are created with completeness and composition. So sabi ko sa inyo, hindi pwede lahat ay dark, hindi pwedeng light. Dapat lahat ay with a harmony, with completeness of making a creating a feeling of an entertainment no and would be able for us no to entertain yung ating visual perception o yung art sa tinatawag.